last class I think we started discussing on the customs management, right? So the communication process we started, and as I said, the customs management is an interface of GTS to your custom system. So there are different custom systems worldwide. So for example, if you are dealing with a German system, the custom system is called as Atlas, and if you're dealing with the US, the custom system is called as EAES, Automated Export System. And if you're dealing with Belgium, it is called as a PDLC, and if you're dealing with other European countries, it is called as NCTS, and for Australia, it is ICS. So there are different custom systems. Depends on the country which you are dealing. So till the custom compliance management, till start the customs management. So we are only sending the data, or we are feeding the data to the GTS system from the R3 system. So that is, the data is coming from R3 either as a sales orders or delivery documents. If it's outbound, or if it is an inbound, it will be coming, or it is fed as POs or inbound deliveries. So for either of the case, in the GTS, it will just create a compliance document, which is nothing but export document. So in the export document, the system will just monitor or evaluate the data only for custom compliance checks. For example, SPL check, or it evaluates for license, or it evaluates for embargo check. So once it is done, so now our motto is to send these documents, or to send the customs declarations to the customs authorities. So these declarations are nothing but the goods and services, or goods which are transported from one place to, or exported from one place to another place, which are always either it will be going as an outbound, or it is going as an inbound. For any of this case, it has to be declared at a customs, saying these are the goods I am selling, or these are the goods I am buying. So for this we need a billing document. So compliance management is only dealt with the sales orders or deliveries, or POs or inbound deliveries. But when we are dealing with the customs document is, it will create in the GTS only with reference to a billing document. Okay, so sales order, the flow will be sales orders. I'll just put it in Excel sheet. Okay, so if it's a sales orders, so then it will go for delivery, outbound delivery. Then we have a billing document. So these are all part of your ERP system. It's nothing but your R3. So then we have a GTS system. In the GTS, for the reference, with reference to the sales order, it will create a compliance document, which is nothing but your, say, export document. With reference to billing document, it will create a declaration document. Okay, so now we have seen, as part of your export document, what are the checks that system is going to see. As part of your export document, the system is going to check embargo, license, and SPL. So now these checks are, as a prerequisite, these checks will happen and will be reviewed. Then the declaration document will come and hit into the GTS. So from GTS, the document will be submitted to the customs authorities. So let's say, for example, you are dealing with the German system, it is called Atlas. Okay, so for this is your declaration document from the GTS, and it is going to hit your Atlas system. It's going to hit to Atlas system for declaration, online declaration. So till GTS has got a significance, there is no online declarations. So everybody is doing is a manual declarations. So what is the purpose of doing the online declaration is, so manual declarations, there can be some declarations whatever we have done in the R3, okay. So they will be creating in hitting to the GTS, but it can be taken as a paper printout. They will take and they will give it to the brokers. So on behalf of the brokers, it will come to the they will go and declare to the customs office. So it is Atlas. Anyhow, that will be Atlas only, but they will be declaring manually. So what will happen? Let's say, for example, I have a 100 orders which has to be declared or which has to be get acknowledgement or approval from the Atlas for shipment. So I'm waiting for that from Germany to some other places. And in the same way, you are also having some 100 orders. So assume that there are per day there are some 1,000 orders got created per export process from Germany. So what will happen if there are 1,000 orders, so which are pending or which are waiting for the approval of the customs authorities? So the companies are not able to meet the customer expected delivery, right? So if there are 1,000 orders, it will be very difficult for the customer or even the customs authorities to review and send the approval. Whether it is accepted or rejected, they have to send back to the company. So that process is getting delayed when you are using the paper declaration. So that's why GTS has come up with the online declarations. Online declarations in the sense, the document, whatever the declaration document created in the GTS, it will immediately go to the Atlas system. It will immediately go to the Atlas system through a middleware. So this middleware, there are so many middlewares. So right now people are using a Seaburger, Axway, so many other. Okay. So the declarations, how it is going is, it's going through IDOC process. So now as per our customs, so we are just looking for how to set up the data flow from a GTS system to the custom system. So that is what we are dealing here. So our motto as part of your customs is how our data is moving from customs declarations as a customs declarations to the Atlas system. So this, its communication will go now as IDOC, as I said. The first IDOC which is going as the declaration is, it will go, a first document will go and hit into the Atlas system with a type called M940. It's a message. Okay. Again, you have to no need to remember these messages. It's M940 is only specific to Atlas. The same way there are other messages also. So always just you have to remember the first character M940. So within the M940, M is always a outbound message from your R3. It's a GTS to the customs. If it is Atlas or ACS, it doesn't matter. Always it triggers with M. So the remaining three characters. So if it is Atlas, it is 940. If it is ACS, it is AES, it is 190. Like that, it will be there. So, but always you will come to know when you are started working on this. Always just remember, for your interview point of view, M940 is for Atlas, M190 is for AES, M870. I'll just show you. It's for ICS like that. You can just say M message. That also will be sufficient. So immediately Atlas system will send a acknowledgement message that this message is received. This acknowledgement message will be sent back from Atlas to the GTS that we have received the this is the acknowledgement, it's inbound. Okay, this is the inbound message which is coming from Atlas that's stating that we have received. This is the acknowledgement. So after that, it will again send one more message, inbound message to GTS, whether it is a rejected message or approval message. It also will start with I. Okay, it is either approval or rejection. So first is outbound message, next is an acknowledgement message from Atlas, and next is a I message. Again, it's approval or rejection. So the time between the M message triggered and the I message finalized, I message received from the Atlas system, the declaration document in the GTS will be phased out. So it will be automatically grayed out. You cannot make a single change. If not even a full stop you can enter there, or not even you can change the name or any address of the any field. It will be every field will be grayed out. So the time between the M message and the final I message, so the declaration document will be in a grayed mode, and after the I message comes, so this I message will say whether it's approval or rejection. Let's say for example if it is a rejected, then this declaration document is completely rejected. So they will say what is the reason for the rejection. Maybe
So
the
can you resubmit that rejected form again
yeah
after selecting?
yes we can submit the same thing. So they will just see send the reason also what is the purpose of this rejection, and like for example if it's an approval has come, so along with this approval, so there are MRN number. So this is a movement reference number.
Generally, what will be the duration from message, starting message to approval message? That duration means normal real time. What will be the?
Normally it will take 1 day to receive this.
Okay.
To receive the approval messages based on the volume. So like in countries like Germany, US and all, it will take long time. But if you go for Belgium or any other countries, it will take within 1 hour you will get an approval or rejection message. So it
Okay.
depends on the
Okay.
volume per day.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So MR number is a movement reference number which is sent from your Atlas system to the GTS system or custom declaration system. It's nothing but it's an approval given by the custom system saying that you can start your shipment. Okay, so it's a transport number they used to call in some places they used to call it a transport number also. A TRN number, something they are calling, but normally it will be MRN number. Even we have a field called as MRN number. So transport number will be sent back or MRN number will be sent back. So along with this MRN number, they will be declaring to the customs authorities. The shipment will be presented at the customs, and they will start the shipment process. And the goods will be loaded to the carriers and all, and they will start the shipment. So this is typically the process of your customs. So now, as per a GTS consultant, our role is how a billing document is sent to a declaration document, and how these messages are triggering, okay, and how it is interfaced to the Atlas, and what is this middleware, how to set up this middleware. So now for this billing document, you know how the billing document is triggered. So this is from your general settings. You can just go to the general settings, normal general settings, document structure. Okay, if you go for customs and presentations, you have to just add this CULOEX use your billing header. Okay, so this is, I think already we have seen as part of your normal general settings part. This is a declaration document, and CULOIMS for inbound. So this documents you have to create, and you have to assign this your billing document type. So only this is one setting what we have to do from your document mapping. Okay, so after this we have to go for your customs management. So within the customs management, so now we are going for declarations, export declarations to the Atlas. So here there is one more important topic is these declarations are of two types. One is normal declarations. Okay, and another one is supplementary declaration. So what is the difference between normal declaration and supplementary declaration is, see, normally when you are dealing with any R3 document, there is a one process called the incompleteness procedure. If you come across, there is one process in R3, incompleteness procedure, right?
Yes.
So what is the difference? What is the functionality of this incompleteness processes? So normally in your R3 and all, there are some mandatory fields which we have not entered and which are required for subsequent processing of a documents as per of your R3 definition. But here, incompleteness declarations or incompleteness process of your GTS is the same functionality. So there are some mandatory fields which are required to process a document by the Atlas. So if those fields are not there, then the customs can deny or reject the transaction or declaration. So if there is any incompleteness document or incompleteness declaration is there, so the declarations will not go to the Atlas system at all. Okay. So such declarations can also be sent to the Atlas by some authorities or by some consigners if they have the authorizations. It's authorized consignor. So we have to just create authorizations. That is the specific privilege which was given by the customs authorities to such customer or consignor. So in terms of your authorizations. So what will happen normally? Once the authorization is assigned for the declarations, let's say for example we are declaring it from Mercedes benchmark. Okay, so obviously Mercedes Benz will be having the authorization because it's a good customer there and it is a repeated customer or the Germany. Okay, so Mercedes Benz will be given the authorization that even the document is incomplete, they can start the declarations to the Atlas. And Atlas, when they are selling the first inbound message, they will give a timeline. So like for example, they will say, okay, so even though you submitted the incompleteness declarations, so we are just providing you a timeline of 1 day or 2 days. So within that you have to give another declaration document with the missing for information.
Okay.
Okay, so now if you don't have the incompleteness authorization, okay, so that means the document will not be submitted to the Atlas system. So that is the primary thing you have to remember. And like for example, your document is complete and you are declaring to the Atlas. So completed documents which are declared to the Atlas system are called the normal declarations. So where you don't have any authorizations for declaring incompleteness documents to the customs. So those are all normal declarations. And supplementary declarations are the declarations which are supplemented. So when your Atlas system or custom systems has sent back a message saying that the incompleteness information back. So that incompleteness information will be given only by the supplementary declaration format. So there are two kinds. One is normal and one is supplementary. So that will be differentiated using the authorizations. Okay, so now if I come to SAP, so first is your communication setup, what we are going to do here. So first is a technical medium. Technical medium is, see here we have a, in R3 we have output types, right?
Okay.
Output types we have. So but here in the GTS, we don't have the concept of your output types. It is always the concept of output type is replaced with your PPF. In GTS, ATM, AWM, all these new dimension models, it is replaced with your PPF. So again, this PPF concept is going to be replaced with BRF plus. So in future, if you are going to happen to work on S4HANA and all, so there is no concept of your PPF because everything will be coming under a single structure called as a BRF plus. It's a business rule framework plus. So as part of our GTS, we are just going with a PPF. It's nothing but your post-processing framework. So what will be there in this post-processing framework is it's also kind of output only. It also will trigger a message output. but it has some sequence. So previously we are using to we are dealing with output types where we are just creating a function modules and print programs or smart forms, right? So but here it is not like that. So since the declarations has to happen in a different phase, so one output type or couple of output types may not be sufficient. So this way SAP has come up with a concept called as a PPF. So all your new dimension modules like EWM, TM, EM, your GTS, everything is using this PPF concept, post processing framework. Now if I come for SAP, so here first of all we have an action profile, action definition, and the processing types. So the PPF concept is driven or basically divided into action profile, action definition, and the processing type. So what is this action profile? So action profile is nothing but, so it will just talk about whether you are doing export or import or transit. I'll just give you here another picture, the PPF concept I'm telling. So first is action profile, and within the action profile we have action definitions, and these action definitions are assigned to processing types. So now just see here, action profile is nothing but your which country you're dealing and what is the process. So normally we are dealing with the Germany, if you say Germany, and it is an export. So this we can create as a one action profile. And one beauty here is, so SAP has given all the action profiles for every country. It's not required for you to create any new thing. It's everything is ready. You have to just use this action profiles. See here, Austria customs export, processing export. So what SAP suggests is don't make any changes for this. You just use as a ready-made. If you want anything to be changed, you can change in the action definitions. So here almost all countries will be available. So since we are dealing with only 10.1, the 11 version, I think this is not even 10.1, 10 version. Okay, 10.1 and 11 version, we have every country. So even the Indonesia is also there, Singapore is also there, every country. So there are so many other countries which are still doing the paperwork, but every country has come up into online declarations. So these are the countries, like if you are dealing with the Germany customs export, okay, just say this. This is action profile. Now we can go to the action definition. Now we are dealing with action profile, which is nothing but whether it's a export or import. If you want to do it for import, you can just say import. Okay, and there is also called as a transit. We will see this one transaction or later. But what is the export import? Now all this structure will be defined in the action profiles. So if you are doing with the Germany export, since we are dealing with the Germany export, so we want to sell a material from Germany to India. So at the declarations at customs, we want to do as an export. And what are the definitions? What system is there? What is there in the definition? So see here. First is declarations to the customs office, supplementary declarations to the export office, and issue of export. So these are the different kinds of messages triggering to the customs. So normally we will be giving, so these are the different action definitions. So when we are declaring, so to the customs, so it's not only export we are declaring office of export. So we are sometimes declaring the rules of origin, country of origin. We are also declaring the supplementary declarations. So like that, there are n number of messages or number of definitions, declaration definitions you have to define. So those are all already given here, specific to countries. So since, like for example, you are working as a first time for a German client, so you don't know what declaration document the German used to give to the as part of your declaration to the customs. So then what will happen? If you don't know, then it will be very problem for you as initially, right? So you have to just go to the customs office and you have to collect the data, or you have to approach your legal team. This is when you are going to first time implementation. So then if this the raw data is not available, it will be very difficult. So that's why SAP has given with some kind of a definition, raw data. So in this, whatever the data you want, you can keep it, and remaining all you can delete. So like for example, you want to give a certificate of origin. So then you can just keep this, and remaining, like for example, request of cancel, export, declaration, subsequent declarations, or issue of export. So these are all not required for you. You can just delete this.
So just need to click, no, if you want means.
Sorry.
Just need to let's say for Germany we want some documents which need to be active, so we just need to click that column, like to get active. How to activate it? Just this.
No, this is just a definition only. Activation will be done later. It's just a definition. So these are all the declaration documents which are required as per your export of your Germany.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Okay, so like for example, you are going for declarations to Germany as a declarations of export. Now click on this.
Okay.
Go to processing type.
Okay.
So this processing type can be either a method call or it can be XML format. Okay, so that means it is online declarations which is coming here. So a method call is kind of a function module. So this will trigger this IDOC, will trigger to the customs.
Okay.
So
this is what
Okay.
you are telling. So when this message is there, so this message will trigger IDOC to the customs. Okay, and here in this action definitions, we are going to assign this messages, M message, I messages, and all. So that I will show you later.
Okay.
So like for example, you want a printout. So just see if any printout is there, or certificate of origin. I think this one should be a certificate of origin. That should be a printout. Yeah, if any printout is there, see here it's a printout. Euro one, UR1 is one document. So then you will be creating a form. It's a print form, okay, and it is going as a PDF form. This is the format of this. Okay.
Okay.
So based on the communication, that document will trigger. Now we have just understood declaration document is ready, and what kind of a document we are giving to the customers, whether it's an export document or it's an import document, or what kind of a document. So the document we are ready. Okay. And now I'll just come back. This PPF setup. This is the first part is the PPF setup. So now we have a conditions and output parameters for communication. So it's a general document. So here in the conditions, it's a now we are not dealing with any output, right? It's a PPF. So what is there here in this conditions is, so in the conditions, we will be maintaining the messages. So this is where the messages will come into picture, and all your technical setups, whether it's a printer, it should be there. Okay, all these things like what you have seen for Germany. Okay, and we want a declaration document. See here, incompleteness declaration, export declaration is there for within the EU. So since Germany is, so there are some countries, like for example, within the Germany there are some privileged customers which can also declare us incompleteness document. So then you can just activate this, but it is not required for all. Okay. Okay, certificate of origin. I'll just say certificate of origin. So now here you see how the message should trigger to the customs. So schedule automatically. So schedule automatically in the sense the customs documents, when it creates, you can run a job to send this document to the customs, or immediately you can send, like normally how your transmission medium is enabled in the output. So we have options like it can be sent immediately upon the saving the document, or there should be some customs program. So like that you can process the output, right? Or the
Yes.
yeah, in the same way here also we are doing it's scheduled automatically, or we can also say type as a after saving the after saving the document. So like that we can say it's upon report, selection report, or immediate processing, or upon saving the document. So what are these processing details? This is the thing about the same processing details, whatever coming from the previous section. So who is the recipient? So here you will be mentioning the recipient. Since it's a demo system, you will not find the recipient. But normally here you'll add the server Seaburger details. So if it is a printer, you will just see the printer. So how many copies you want, what is the sport, everything will be entered here. If you are selling as a mail or attachment, so this is a mail attachments. So all these things will be there in the costing details. Scheduled conditions is you want the certificate of origin only to be sent only after your declaration document is approved. So then this is your certificate of origin. Scheduled conditions you will write. You will write a condition. What is the process of this? Okay, and start condition also, how you want to start this output type and it should trigger. All these things you will write here. You see. Okay, I'm not saying this. So in the real time, if you come across the custom system, so you will see all the details. You have to set up. So now, as I said, there is some supplementary declarations which are required. So what are the supplementary declarations is? So supplementary declarations, as I said, the authorized consignees which are there, they can declare these documents or they can send these documents as part of your incompleteness procedures, and they can send as a periodic declarations as well. Okay, so this is a supplementary declaration. The same thing will be available here in this case also. Let's just go to the action definition. So this is only for supplementary. The back strip, whatever you have done is for general declarations, and this is for supplementary declarations.
Okay.
There's no change here except your whether you are the processing type. Now technical messages for message schema. So what we have to do is, now we are not processing each and every message. So we will say, okay, so we will just collect all the messages so which are relevant, because it is not one document or one message we are sending to the customs, right? So we will be sending so many. Like for example, we want export document. Okay, so we want a certificate of origin COO. We want rules of origin. Okay, so we want, for example, incompleteness documents. Okay, so in case if it's a Germany and there are T1, UR1, so there are some other documents. So we cannot create one output type for all these things, right? We cannot create all this in the sense for each document we cannot create one output type. So for this we are just consolidating them into one message. So that is what we are putting. So everything we put into one message. If you say it's a customs declaration, these are all obsolete. Okay, Atlas 7 is not there now. Atlas 8.4 is running in the outside market. So like for example, if you want to go for Atlas 8.4, so this is a technical message schema. That's what we are going to do. And what are the messages we are sending? So as I said, for each and every message schema, declaration documents. So those will be having a messages. So it's a custom document free circulation. So it will be created with CUSDEC. Okay, so this is a EDI technical name. So when it is going to the customs, if it is going as a FCDECI, so you can just say it's a declaration document free circulation. In the same way, if it is coming with like for example, we can say decision for declarations. So that means it is a technical name which is going to the Seaburger or customs is GCRELE. This is a technical name you are defining. So based on this, the system will easily identify that this is a custom declaration, decision for declaration. Are you clear on this?
Yeah, a bit confused.
No, see here, whatever the message schema you defined, or message profile, action profiles, basically the previous step you defined action profiles, right? Action profiles and action definitions.
Yeah.
So this action definitions, now we are giving a technical name. So that is the technical name we are giving. That's all.
Yeah, understood. Okay, okay. So no, this schema, this three type, we merge into a particular schema. This three type.
Yes,
This different output types will be there, no? As you shown before.
yeah,
To,
yes, yes.
no, different PPF. So those three will be merged into particular schema. Correct?
Particular schema along with the we are giving a technical name. So we are not giving this
Oh,
names. Action definition, like for
oh
example, we
yeah,
have a one declaration document like that. So we are
yeah,
not giving just only a names. So we are giving a technical name. So this is a technical name.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so if you go for great written and all, so these are technical name. This is a messages, technical name which is going there.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Okay.
Now, for each and every message or technical name, we are creating a messages. So if you, as a happened, so as I said that M940 will be one document.
Yeah, understood. Okay, okay, okay.
Somebody has renamed it. So these are the M messages. Okay, all M message will be triggered here. And if you see here M message, so this is the export document. Option 2, option 1 will be there in US. Okay, it's action definition. Now we are assigning. So for this message, what is the action definition? So from this, all the action profiles will come.
Okay.
Okay, so here you are assigning the message schema, and there is the message type. So this is normally your message type which you created in WEAT. So it contains all the fields.
Okay.
So there are some control settings which you have to create. So what is this control setting is? Control setting is, so we have action definitions. Okay, see here we have action definitions, action profiles, and we have a processing tabs, and we have created a messages. And how the system is looking, or how we are consolidating that, it has to trigger to a German billing document or German customs declarations. Did we uh, map this to any of our declaration document? So till now we configured,
Correct.
right? So now we are doing, as a part of your control settings, what we are doing is the processing template will be created. Processing template for Germany or US or Transit or Atlas, any system. Just take this processing template. What are the processes? So if you have export or you have import, you can do whatever you want. What activities you are doing as part of export? You are doing export declaration. And what are the messages you want to trigger? You want to trigger these messages. So now as part of your control, so we are just creating one template and we are assigning what messages the system should trigger. So we want only these messages the system should trigger when Germany is doing the export process. Okay.
Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
See now, here as a processing template, we are telling the system should create a declaration document as CULOEX. So in the general settings, so we already mapped the CULOEX to your billing document. So when we are using this processing template, the system will create CULOEX, and from your general settings, the CULOEX will draw the billing document. When any billing document is created from R3 and it is coming to the GTS, it will create the CULOEX as a declaration document. You got this or not?
No, last but can you repeat again?
Yes.
Last one.
Yeah, see, and as a part of your processing control settings,
Yeah,
as part of your control settings, what we are doing is we have created a processing template.
yeah, I got it. Yeah.
In the processing template, so we are telling which what country we are dealing with. Let's say for Germany, and what is the process,
Okay. Okay. Export. Okay.
and what activities we are doing. We are doing export declaration.
Okay.
So there are the transfer declarations and all. So as part of your export declarations, what messages should system should you note down all your messages, M messages, I
Yeah,
messages,
yeah, yeah,
your E messages
yeah.
or print messages. Whatever the messages you want, you can just enter all the messages here.
Okay, okay.
So now, again, what you are doing is you are just telling what kind of a document type you should create. Export document, we have export document, right? In the same way, declaration
Yeah, correct.
document, CULOEX is a declaration document.
Yeah,
So
correct.
now the CULOEX is again linked to your billing document type. Where did you link this? It is there in your general series. Either it can be a Proforma or FI or FI.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So now when in R3, when you create any billing document of FA, the system will map, already system has mapped FA to CLOX. Okay, so when there is CLOX, the system will try to find it's a German client if its export is happening from Germany and it's an export document, it will trigger the export declarations and with this messages.
Okay, okay, okay. Mhm.
Now you got idea how this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
done.
got it. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so what are the subsequent activities? So it's an export declaration just we are assigning here. And fallback activities. What are these fallback activities? Is, for example, you are declaring this to Atlas system. You are doing a declarations to the Atlas system. So since
Okay,
it's a system, Atlas, it, like for example, if it's some due to some reasons Atlas is not working, your all your IDOCs are failing.
okay,
So that is because of this Atlas system is as a fallback strategy. You have to just enter, like if there are a couple of IDOCs failing because of your Atlas system is not available or it's a fallback or under maintenance. So then you will just declare to the custom saying that if as a part of your fallback strategies, you will start your shipment or you will just say manual declarations is also possible. Okay, so that is based on your
okay,
fallback strategies. Like for example, they will just here you'll write iterations. After how many
mhm,
iterations or how many IDOCs got failed. So after that, how
okay, okay.
many? You have any question?
No, no, please carry on.
Yeah. So after a fallback strategy is nothing but when there is any failure in your IDOCs where because of due to the reason of your Atlas system is not available. So then you can just say, okay, because of Atlas system is not available and we have sent 3 or 4 iterations to the Atlas with all the failure IDOCs. Now we are going to declare a manual declaration and we will start the shipment. So you can just
Okay,
start a process. Okay, so that is the fallback strategy. If any problem is there, then you can come back to the shipment.
okay, okay.
So
Mhm.
that's the fallback strategy. It depends again on the country to country. So again, the custom shipment and all. Okay, so this is only the configuration that what we have to do as part of your communication process. Okay, so again we have a print documents, print layouts. It will be done by your ABAPers. Okay, so
Okay,
for your printouts and all, it will be done by the ABAPers. So now just go through this format of go through this communication process again. So if you have
yeah,
any questions, maybe
yeah,
we
sure.
can just discuss on this communication. So this is only
Yeah,
the
sure.
custom process, only the
Okay, sure.
custom. Okay.
Okay,
So now we have
yeah,
how the data will be defaulted, or there's as I said the transit data, and there are some major economic impact data will be there. So like it's IPR process, it's outbound processing or inbound processing reliefs. Okay, so what are the differences? For example, you have a laptop you are selling. As a part of your laptop,
mhm,
what will be there as a laptop as a finished product? There are some sub-components, right? So it can be
mhm,
your motherboard, chip, your hard disk, your RAM, some other components. So which you are obtaining from different countries to make as a finished product. So but you already declare them to the customs declarations while you are getting inside. So is it required to declare these parts again at the customs when you are selling to the customer? So those will be dealt here as a part of your IPR and OPR process. So there are some other processes which we will discuss as part of your special processes, special customs processes.
okay, yeah, yeah.
And This process, I will show you it in system manual declarations. I will explain that how a customs declarations will look like when you are doing in a real time. So now
Okay,
since we
okay.
are doing only in the IDs, I will just show you what are the fields will come in, how the fields will be entered, all the things I'll show you. Okay. Yeah, so maybe tomorrow class I will show you the customs declarations, how the declaration document will come.
Yeah, okay, okay, sure.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Adarsh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you just practice these customs, and if you have any questions, maybe you
Yeah,
can repeat.
we'll go through. Yeah, tomorrow we'll ask.
Yeah, thank you.